I'm not going to cover too much on it. We ain't got that much time.
You got all the time you want.
Okay, you saying
Ladies
that
and gentlemen.
How much time do you have between now and the evening?
Who knows? It's New Sports. Changing times. New Sports. Freaky deaky. Here comes the man they call sexual chocolate.
You know, PMC, you're right. I might have to get a donation to bail out Victor because Suzette. He says Vic got to pay for Suzette. So already, you see how it is. He's already going like, you know what? You took away the lollipop, the Skittles, and everything else. So
you know what? See, how the brothers be fickle with you. Just like they got mad at me that time. They say I chased the girls out the party. I got in kind of argument with a girl,
right?
And she left the party. It's like we were in the 8th grade, and the girl left the party and took all her friends, and they were all the finest girls in the party.
Oh, okay.
And all my buddies were like on me, man, what'd you do? I'm saying, well, who's more important? Those girls or your boy?
Yeah.
Those girls, man. We get them.
Always better. Okay. All right, I got you. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to do a quick make the story something. And then I said, no, I don't, because this story is going to make itself. When we talking about soccer, most people go like, okay, what about soccer? I said, I'm telling you right offhand. In any sport, professional sport, when you do a three-peat, you're considered the best or in a group of the best all time. Spain goes up against Italy. Everybody sat there who was, basically following and said, we're picking who we think was going to win. They picked Italy. A few people was picking Italy. It wasn't even close.
Wow.
It wasn't even close. Now, I started this off only to sit there and bring that story in before I get into the trending topics. It's one of the trending topics, but I'm going to come back to it. And I want you to think, what other teams would go in the mix of the consideration of the best of all time because they won back to back to back? And the last team that they really lost against was the USA team, even though it wasn't one of the big title games. It was, a lesser game competitive match. So I'm going to tell you what the trending topics are right now. Tiger wins AT&T, wins the 74th PGA title, passes Jack Nicklaus. Also, Michael Jordan's son's arrested. Look, get your drink on. I'm not.
It's hard when you're the son of a superstar.
It is very. When you're arguing,
you also got a bunch of money.
But if you're highly intoxicated and you got a bunch of money and you're arguing at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning with two women, and Mario knows what it's like to have the debates at 2 o'clock in the morning, it could be a little. I
just had one.
That's right. It could be a little energetic, but not to the energy where they got to call out the police. And he was actually, unfortunately, not being cooperative to the police. To a certain extent.
Who called the police though?
Well, part of it is that somebody did.
One of the women?
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure it was somebody, a neighbor.
Okay.
Somebody or...
That's grounds.
Yeah, I know. All right. Now, that's Marcus Jordan, you guys. That's Marcus Jordan. Now, here's the one that I think everybody's going to get caught up in more because I've been watching a lot more of this. I mean, we had motocross here in L.A., so that's big. You got also Dwight Howard sweepstakes back on again. So you have that wrapped around.
He wants to go to the Brooklyn Nets.
Of course he does. He's going to say where he's going, but at the end of the day, what team is going to offer up the best cachet? And if we offer up buying them, that's hard to ignore. Then you got Deron Williams. And so you got some other considerations, and Houston's in the mix with a number of players. So it'll be what they get out of it. As much as he wants to be at the Nets, the organization is going to say, what are we getting for it in our dollar value? But the Olympic trials is the one that got me because what's the best story? You got swimming, and they kind of hyped up the Michael Phelps thing against Ryan Lochte, and you got the gymnastics, well, I call it the body slam tour. I'm sorry. And I feel bad because there were a lot of body slamming off the bars. And then you got the track and field, what we call the runoff between Allison Felix and Geneva Tarmo. And my question is going to come back to that about there's going to be tears after this race. And somebody has to lose, and the runoff is today. And everybody wants to see the runoff, one against the other. Can they handle it, and will there be tears? Well, now there's a question, and the person I'm looking at this not going to probably hold it. I said, if Geneva doesn't hold up, she's going to be tearing up a lot. And I think she's now considering pulling out of it. So
wow.
That tells you something, how much is drawing on her. That's big when you go, you're going to be on a national stage. Everybody's waiting for it. And then everybody says, this is the race of races.
Yeah.
Can she handle it? So we have all this going down, and I'm sitting up here going, where do you give respect? I got to go with Spain. I got to go with Spain right now, you guys. That's 3 titles. And when I say I watched this match, I've seen teams get dominated. I don't know if I can almost call it embarrassing. And look, respect to Italy. Mar, I don't know if you watched it. When they were scoring at will, and when I said at will, if Will had a last name, it was all over, man. I mean, it was all over. So I want to give props to Spain. Now the question is, most people are familiar with Brazil. Okay, you're familiar with Brazil. You're familiar with Germany. They're powerhouses. If you win 3 Euro titles, the big ones, you're 3 in a row. Are you the best ever, Mario?
Has anybody ever done it before?
No.
See, if no one,
no,
then there's the answer.
It's easy.
I mean, that's just you. I mean, you may not like it,
right?
Because they take this so personal,
right?
They got videos of the fans attacking people.
Yes.
Up on YouTube, so they take this so serious.
Yeah. So the bottom line is Spain. And look, let's just be real. Soccer is blossoming, and let me say this: when it's getting so big that you have to turn around and say, like, David Beckham is not even going to be included, representing his country, which is England, on the team. He's left off his team, but he's big time over here. So what does that tell you? Soccer is moving with the youth movement more than anything else.
I got to check and see when the World Cup. See, this is the Euro title.
That's right.
There's a bunch of titles, and they have the other stuff.
That's right. You got the World Cup.
That leads to, I guess, I'm not sure if they're linked, but I was assuming that some of this had to do with who represents.
That's true.
What country?
Yeah.
Even though I had the impression that it was done differently, or something like in England. I don't know. I got to find a little bit more, but it certainly is wonderful. This is Euro title.
Yes. It's Mario, it's like this. If you win for 3 to 4 years and you wait for the Olympics to go in and win the title, of course, the gold medal, you win it and then you go back. Well, if you won more between each Olympic competition, is it a lesser competition? I said, no, they're regularly playing over and over again. Right. So the teams, a lot of times, are not the same teams when they come back. It's a whole brand of new players and everything. So it's to be considered. I'm not here to tell you, is Spain the best ever? I'm here to say Brazil has that reputation as well, and Germany does, and I can't wait to see what they say about it. So it's a good deal. But now I got to swing over to this. Mark, did you watch anything with the Olympic trials? If there was a sporting event that you watched, what would it have been?
I love gymnastics. And usually that's one of the things I look, and I mean all the different versions of it, from the floor X to the uneven parallels to any aspects of it, because they're fine.
Right,
they're fine.
Right. And they're talented.
And the dance, tumbling dance stuff. That's like with the music and thing.
Right.
That I really like too. So no.
Okay. Now here's the part that I'm going to ask you, because I know we don't have any data, and I don't have any data. So please don't ask me, because I don't have qualifying data. But I know sometime during the week they did have a report that more people were tuning in to the swimming as well as the gymnastics, and then you had the diving competition going on. So I have at USA Olympic Trials, where are most viewers tuning in? Well, here's what would you want to see? The track and field runoff between Allison Felix and Geneva Tarmo, or do you want to see the body slams? I'm not making fun.
Those are two big ones.
Let me say this: I have never seen that many girls on the double parallel bars slam. There's one way to fall. There's the other one where it makes noise, and it happened multiple times.
And they probably fall a lot anyway.
Yes, they do. So. And then you have, which lends itself to, being one of those things where you're rooting for people not to mess up. And back in past Olympics, Mario, when we will watch the European countries, you didn't even look at them messing up. You looked at them going, can they get a perfect 10?
Now, there always are other variables. I don't know how risky. See, sometimes, at least I've seen in the past, where on the uneven bars, where they're doing more risky, higher degrees of difficulty kinds of stunts. So I wonder if that represents any part of this, or is it just saying that is the caliber of the athletes less than, or was it just one of those unique times where stress and everybody slipped?
Yes. And I think, Mar, you qualify a lot of it, and they're younger. We're embracing their youth a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm watching the swimming competition and watching a few races where a 14 and a 15-year-old, imagine your daughter being the fastest in the world or fastest among the Americans at the time of the trials, and you're going, she's only 15. So the thing that's getting me is I think we're tapping into the younger, talented athlete, not necessarily the more mature mentally, because they are young teenagers. Is that a celebration? And should we continue doing that? Because, look, or is it a lot of pressure? The part I love about it, they sincerely love what they're doing. They're not hit with the history of failure. They bounce, get back up, and try to do it again.
I wonder what the average age at the Olympics is.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I just know that they caught me more this year than anything else. And then I have to bring in Ryan Lochte and Michael Phelps.
I want to see that.
Yeah, well, see, they've already had their races.
Because they have hyped.
Yeah, they overhyped it a little bit. I mean, it's cool to make it like that, but when they go over against the Australians, who's about to bring the
that's what I'm saying.
And the Brazilians,
right? This is the pre-Olympic stuff, right?
Right.
But they are building up. Is it me? But are they marketing the women a little differently this year or something? It sure seemed like they were showing us more women, even though PMC trying to say that I like looking at tiny, tight booties.
Look, PMC.
Of course I do.
No, Mario, you don't. You don't like looking at
the gymnastic booties and those thighs.
Mario. Okay, if you're destroying credibility here.
Okay, it has nothing to do with looking at their booty.
Okay, thank you.
It's the tiny outfits.
First of all, it's I look at them because the part that they don't get destroyed on. I mean, when I say sound effects, man, remember the PZM miking back in the days where you mic the room. Well, they mic the mats, and when they slam, this is not a fall. I hit my legs and fall back. Their body is just straight horizontal.
Well, that's
bam.
at least the one thing good about it is that I'm not really worried about any significant trauma. Now you can get still head injuries and stuff. It's just usually you see less of that. They learn how to fall.
Right.
It looks bad, sounds bad, but they're usually up pretty quick.
Yes, they are. I like their resiliency. They bounce back.
These girls can take a punch.
They can. So
they can take a body slam.
So here's my thing. I'm not sure. I'm going. What am I going to run? I mean, what am I going to follow? The runoff in track and field got me. I think when you have one-on-one and they're best friends, this makes it difficult, Mario. Your best friends, your training partners, and you guys got to have the runoff to make it on the 100-meter squad. That's what's going to happen in the track and field runoff.
Be that way.
It's got to be that way. And then, of course, the last is, and I'm not going to get into ranking, Big Pimpin' and, all those rankings I personally do because I think we had a unique time. You're not going to watch swimming. Swimming has done its job. But this Allison Felix, Geneva Tarmo, 100-meter runoff, I think everybody's waiting for it to happen. I think Allison is ready to take the pressure because she's been on that stage.
Look at these A cups.
You know what?
And these abs.
Okay, I'm done. See, I don't get no. You notice I have to set it up and then give. What
nice
I
like about?
Response.
I love their. Don't they seem like they really, are like vibing in a positive way? You just kind of like to see that kind of a thing.
It's the pressure.
Yeah, even though look at them, I mean, they're still, to me, that's the way you have to approach it. You do your best.
Yeah.
You work hard and then you do your best, and you got to be willing to let it be that.
Right.
But this picture, I think, in terms of just Vic, it's a wonderful shot.
Yeah.
That shows a certain kind of energy that lets you know that people can be friends and compete.
Yeah.
Because that's the way we used to do it. I mean, think about it. We used to want to beat your buddy all the time. You didn't want to break his leg.
Right.
You just wanted to slam on him.
Right.
I mean, you didn't mind if he beat you. It wasn't like a heartbreaker to lose.
No.
What was all that?
No. And it's not that. I think the part is not everybody's ready for the stage of being focused on because you're part of a team and they're part of a team. So all of a sudden, Allison has always been there because she has been the prodigal. Here's our number one sprinter. You can market around her even more so. And Geneva is it. You saw the emotion even when the guy was interviewing you yesterday, and you saw her eyes welling up. And I said, that's after he interviewed them, after they came out of the room and said, did you guys agree what you're going to do? Coin flip? to see who goes or runoff. They said runoff. This morning, Geneva says she may pull out. I think it's too much pressure for her. I think emotionally she couldn't
life
handle
is
it.
like that. You know, this is what age does for you, right? You have to embrace the moment because some things you cannot prepare for in total at all, no matter what.
Right.
You just can't. So, therefore, it's a matter of how you process it. And since we all have to process some of these things,
Right.
I got to say we wish you the best, and I think I'll be there.
I'll say this, Mario. You work your butt off to get to the point where you're next to being on the stage of being in the fastest race that considers the fastest runner. And you're there just to qualify to get on the team. Would you walk away from that opportunity?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
But then again, people fold all the time under pressure.
Okay.
And what they perceive the pressure. You know the people we've had who came in here who couldn't handle being on an internet television show out of a converted garage.
No, I understand.
They couldn't handle that. It just freaked them out.
And people are still and look, we're getting judged based on what people are willing to do. When you come back here, it's not like the grandiose studio. It's not going to have the traditional lights and everything. We know that, but you're still on the stage. I'm saying to Geneva, please do not back out of this. Do the race because I think moving forward, she's going to already probably be part of the team as an alternate or what have you. Just don't walk away from this because then you're second guessing yourself. Don't let the lights and everything fool you. Just go do the race. So I hope that she does. If it is a runoff, it happens today. So I'll find out what time. Mario, I'm done with my new sports. I'm not going to get into the ranking, big pimping, balling, whatever, something for the ladies. This is a unique broadcast. I appreciate all the sports that's happening over the weekend. Can't cover it all because this is supposed to be a limited broadcast.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's
bringing you the limited broadcast, New Sports. A little peek, a little taste, just a little dab will do you. Written, produced, and directed by Victor Allen. That's New Sports. Hot, sexy. Brought to you by the bald-headed man.
No,
Yeah.
I thought